How's it going, guys? So if you guys have been watching my channel for a little bit, you guys know during our little video series right now, we're actually in Missouri fishing for the Bass Pro Shops US Open. The opportunity at $1 million. I hate opening up a video filmed somewhere else like this, but I'll explain why here in a second. We did film our trip at Havasu where we qualified for this tournament, top 40. It was originally at Lake Mead, went to Havasu, and then when we qualified, we ended up in Table Rock. But I really want to break down kind of our mentality day by day. I think this is something important that a lot of people might want to know and learn for themselves and kind of see how someone can break down a lake and find bass somewhere where the fishing might be tough. This is going to be our first day pre-fishing out at Table Rock Lake in Missouri. Now, when we went out there in the morning, it was absolutely freezing. So, Senior and I, we're obviously from Las Vegas. It's not, cold at all out here. So when we actually went out onto the water, the weatherman was saying that it was going to be somewhere around 28 degrees. So we knew it was going to be cold going in, but we did not expect how cold it was going to get with the wind. So with the wind chill, it seriously was probably around 15 degrees, maybe even colder. One of the coldest times I've ever been in my life that morning. And it was actually so cold that a lot of the cameras weren't working. That's why I'm right here filming it right now. We thought they were recording and whatnot, but they weren't. They would freeze up on us. If you have experience using cameras at all, like GoPros, a lot of them freeze up really bad in the cold. So especially your GoPros, we were trying to film all that morning and it just wasn't working. So I have a lot of videos from our pre-fishing days and then our tournament days. So we're obviously going to post kind of in sequence a little bit of our pre-fishing days, and as we go through those days, I'll kind of explain our thought process on what we took to break down this brand new lake, because it's seriously, I think, 20-30 miles long. And this was our first day going in. So when we went into Table Rock Lake, we were thinking brand new lake. We were hearing all this talk about this lake having an amazing fall transition bite. And when that happens, that a lot of those bass move shallow. So obviously that's where we were going to start. We're going to break down the lake in sections. Since we had 6 days to pre-fish, each day was going to be a different section, and we're going to figure out what section of the lake had the best fishing in it. So when we were going into Table Rock, there was a few things we knew. First thing we knew is that it's a really big lake. We had never fished anything even close to a lake like that. We have Lake Mead out here in Mojave, Havasu, all of our West Coast lakes, but they're completely different from, like a lake like Table Rock. It's completely foreign to us. I had never even caught a spotted bass in my life. So going into this lake, there's a few guarantees that we knew. We knew there was going to be 350 boats in the tournament, somewhere around there. We knew that there's going to be a lot of people fishing, which is in part with the 350 boats. And we knew that we were going to have to cover some water and maybe try different techniques and really think, where these fish might be with all this fishing pressure. But as far as going in on our first day, really, it's just getting a feel for the water. So when we launch our boat, all we did is kind of drove around, threw on some stuff that, we might be able to pick up a few fish with, just to get into the groove of things, make sure all the electronics on the boat are running good, the engine's good, and poles are good and everything, and just really warm up to the lake, get a feel for how the water is. The water temperature was like 54 degrees, which to me, living in Vegas, sounds like it's freezing. But to all the locals, they were saying it needs to get even colder for the fishing to get better out there, which is just, mind-blowing to me. But so going in was really just like an exploration. Just get your first few minutes on the water, get a sense for the water clarity, the water temperature. A lot of people who fish a long time know exactly what I'm talking about. When you go to a new lake, you have no idea what to expect. And when you first get on that water, it's very important, the little tips the water tells you. That's stuff we're trying to pick up on. So I'm going to show you guys these couple fish we caught, and then I'm going to tell you guys kind of how we broke down the information from those fish we caught and where we're going to move forward on from there. Alright, so if you guys are new to this channel, I'd really appreciate it if you guys dropped a like, maybe subscribed if you're liking the content you're seeing. And if you guys are my long-time subscribers, love you guys. You guys have been supporting me through everything. And if you guys know, I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed that our views have been really, really low. I feel like a lot of it might be because of YouTube. When we were posting some of our hunting content, they didn't really agree with all of the content we're posting. And a lot of it also is partially my fault. I'm not keeping up to date and posting as much as I feel like I should. So you guys deserve more videos. I'm going to try my best to get you guys more videos here soon. And a whole variety of content right now, to be honest. I feel like the fishing around Vegas area is picking up. This spring, coming up extremely soon, I will promise you guys that you guys will have some absolutely amazing content to watch. It'll be some of, like, I don't think very many people have filmed this style content that we're gonna get this spring for you guys. So there's a whole lot to look forward to. So I hope you guys enjoy these fish catches, and then right after, I'm gonna go ahead and break down our mentality going on from those fish catches and where we're moving forward from there. Seeing a little bit of bait fish shallow though, and then catching a few bass on it, I wonder if the transition is just starting to happen. Cause like we're saying, it got so dang cold today, you know?
Nice. Better or no?
It's a nicer one.
Oh yeah. Beauty. That's a fat boy right there.
Look at how I hooked them.
On top.
barely.
Look at his mouth.
Yeah, this is the first bass I ever caught that is like I always see it online with these black spots that these bass get, but it's the first time I caught one with them on the lips. That's cool. He's got one on his tail too. But there's a Missouri bass. We're out here pre-fishing.
Check his tongue. Nothing.
Smooth tongue. Well, he's a largie. But there's our first keeper out of actual Table Rock Lake. Let's see if he's a keeper. Just to see what we need to catch.
17.
Yep, so he'd be a keeper. That'd be our first Missouri keeper out here at Table Rock Lake. And we're pre-fishing right now, so we're gonna go ahead and let this guy go pretty quickly. But that's awesome. We're trying to figure out a pattern, and we almost got froze off the lake this morning. It was so windy. And now we're just starting to try to figure them out. And we caught two right off this same point, which feels good. It's a good sign. There you go. Bite my hook. Tournament day.
That was good. Yeah. All right.
Heck yeah, that was cool. You got one? You got a bite? Oh, you got one. There's a school right there. Yeah, but still, that might be a spot. That's a spot. Well, right after I caught mine, literally pretty much the same cast. Senior caught one on an A-rig, which is cool. That might be a little school of them then. Check if that's a spot. That might be a spot. It is. That'll be my first known spotted bass I've caught. It is?
No, it's a largie. Look at the back. It doesn't. It has the.
No, it's a spot then, because the largie has like no gap between the fins. It's a spotted bass.
I don't know. We've never caught spots, so.
Yeah, that's a spotted.
This guy's 12 inches.
Little guy.
That was fun.
Well, that's
Off
neat.
The A-rig, the Adrian rig.
Yep. Oh, there's a tree right here. This is where you caught yours, and I think I caught mine by this tree too. I gotta get this out. There we go, got it. Big school of something. Actually, hold up. I gotta get on these, see what they are, just for experience. I had some, I think. Yeah, there's a bunch of fish straight below. I got snagged. They were right here somewhere. If they're fish. Does it get real shallow by that edge, by those trees? Or is it a drop off? I think so. Yeah, I got one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, there's another one with him. Big one. Holy cow. Well, we're on to something here. I just saw those guys sit here. I want a picture with this. This is my biggest. This is spot. He had another one with him.
I saw like 3 of them when I went to net it.
All right, guys. There we go again. Another nice one.
You look frozen half to death.
I do?
Yeah.
Because it is pretty cold.
Freezing.
Got another nice one. This, you know, it's cold when I grab these bass, and I'm like, geez, this fish feels warm. My hands feel good on them. But that's my first spotted bass ever right there. Nice little fish. And we're starting to figure something out a little bit. Hopefully, this fish had like 3 or 4 with him, so all about this size. So this is definitely going to be a marked spot, and we're going to make sure we can check in a few times and that they stay around. But we need to find a lot like this. A spotted bass, they got a little tooth patch on their tongue. That little like discolored spot, it's all like a little tooth patch.
It's rough.
Yeah, that's cool. He's fat. Bite my lure tournament day. Tell all your homies that we're following you too to bite, because he had like 3 or 4 with him. All right, guys. So you guys saw that. Pretty exciting. You know, me on my first day on that lake, that was pretty exciting. We caught a good larger. We caught a good spotted bass. We caught another small spotted bass. And you know, like I said, we only had a few hours that day because we literally just about got froze off the water. You guys saw we looked absolutely freezing. It felt good just to get on some fish. Now, catching those fish, we were excited at first, but the problem that we were beginning to realize even from the first day is just how many boats were there. When I say that there's 350 boats in a tournament, you know, you look at this lake and say it's an absolutely massive lake, but it really isn't. I mean, they're big, but 350 boats is just so many boats that we realized when we caught a fish, and when we're pre-fishing, this is what we'll do. We go to a spot, we fish a little bit, we test out stuff, and we're really just looking for fish. So if we catch one, we're going to go ahead and say, okay, you know, there might be a few more right here. We're going to back off, and periodically throughout our pre-fishing days, we'll go back there and kind of check back in on that spot and make sure those bass are still there. But the problem we ran into is when we'd go down a stretch of bank and we'd catch a fish on a crankbait or whatever it was, we'd look back, there's another boat. And then, you know, we'd be in the same area, we'd see 3, 4, 5 boats fish that same brush pile, fish that same point. And every single boat that went there was catching fish. So we knew right off the bat that being so close to where the tournament was being held, maybe that wasn't going to be the strategy to win this thing. But it once again did feel good to catch some fish. So from here on out, we didn't really have a whole lot figured out, but we kind of had a basic feel for the lake and a feel for the fish and also the fishing pressure, because like I'm mentioning right now, 350 boats is a insane amount of boats. I think this is one of the biggest tournaments ever held on a lake, if not the biggest tournament ever held on a lake. So fishing pressure was definitely, you know, something to keep in mind. And a good example is when we were fishing along a stretch of bank, you know, we're picking this bank apart, trying to figure out what if there's fish on it and what they're gonna bite. And then there was a point in front of us. We saw a boat jam up, throw a little square bill on it, catch a fish, leave. Another boat about 10 minutes later, jam up, throw another crankbait on it, catch a fish, leave. A dude goes, throws a jig on it, catches a fish, and leave. So that's 3 fish caught off that same point. All those guys think they've got a little honey hole, but this is something that we're definitely going to have to take into account and, you know, kind of digest and move forward from here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are liking this tournament series so far, if you guys watched our fishing video at Lake Tony Como, that was our very first time fishing in Missouri at all. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out. I thought it was a really cool video, to be honest. But you know, we're gonna do a few videos from this, and like I said, we're gonna break it down. We're gonna help you guys hopefully learn from this. And if you guys have some advice that you could help me with, as somebody who's still open-minded to learn new bass fishing techniques, tips, tricks, strategies, whatever it is to break down a lake, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget, if you guys are new to the channel, please drop a subscribe and a bell for the notifications. It'll really help out, and you guys will actually get to see a lot of our content that we've got coming forward from here on out, and you guys will be able to follow our tournament also. So really appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you outdoors.